And boom, this is where we want to be, right in this shake zone. Attached, like my ego is no longer attached to like, how hard can I work every single day, because it's just stupid. Two guys can do seemingly the same movement. If their intention is different, they're gonna get so much more out of it going through the motions versus actually trying to get something out of the movement.
So what is up, gang? It is a great day. It is Wednesday today, a little hump day action, and we're getting an active recovery day in. So to give you guys some context, number one, I'm getting cooked by allergies right now. If you can't tell, I'm pretty congested. Number two, had a deep tissue massage 2 days ago now. If you guys get a good deep tissue massage, that pretty much always warrants a couple of days off because your body's just pretty beat up from it. But it's important that you don't just sit still. It's important that you move, get in the sauna, you're hydrating. And so today I'm planning on it being my last active recovery day before returning to training as normal. So the idea of today is to go in there, get all my muscles activated again, not tax them too much because I want to be fresh for my session tomorrow, but just get in there and get blood flow, right? Tell my nervous system like, yo, time to wake up, time to get things firing again, because it's been a pretty chill past couple of days. And one thing I want you guys to understand is like when you take these active recovery days, even when you have like a rest day, don't just sit and do nothing, because it's not beneficial for your recovery. It's actually more beneficial to get some light movement, some tolerable movement without causing pain or more soreness. Isometrics are perfect because you're able to get blood flow and circulation without causing more inflammation, and you can regress them to whatever your tolerance currently is. And the plan today for the isos is to pretty much hit like a 1 minute long duration iso hold. I want to just choose an isometric for each muscle group, hold it for a minute, maybe a bit longer if I'm not hitting that shake point. I want to hit that shake point, kind of dance with it a little bit. But that minute marker is going to be the goal, because if you guys watch the Banded Isos video, you would know that I hold those for 15 seconds to get those fast twitch muscle fibers cooking. But the longer duration holds are better for healing, they're better for remodeling, and you just have an extended period of time in which you are activating those muscles, in which you are just flooding them with blood. So in an active recovery sense, longer duration is going to serve you better. For a warm-up sense, shorter but higher intent iso holds will serve you better there. As I'm driving over, there's a thought that just kind of hit me. And it's like, why do I even find myself in the position to need to do active recovery days, to need to have like mandatory little 2-3 day rest blocks with the deep tissue massage, etc. And the truth is, everything in life, I feel, always requires a point of recalibration. When you're pushing super hard physically, for example, let's just take my fitness as an example, I'm bound to run into little like muscle adhesions, little tweaks, sprains, soreness. And in order for me to keep going optimally, it's not smart to just keep going with no rest. In order to keep going at the best, most efficient pace possible for the long term, because this is a marathon, fitness is a lifelong marathon, it's important to have points along the race as checkpoints where you stop, get some water, get a little carbs in you, right? And it's not that you're dropping out of the race, and it's not that you're quitting, it's that you're recalibrating so that you may go on with the same or even more efficiency than you did before. Because so many people will try to just keep running the race, and they'll run themselves into the ground, or they'll bail out. But there's no shame, there's only pride in the fact that you recognize, okay, my body's running low on proverbial gas here. I have to pull over to the side, recoup, and keep pushing. That's been a huge recurring theme within my fitness journey, just because I train super hard, and every couple months, deep tissue massage, a couple days off, and then I'm back at it, progressing, right? Even in life, when you encounter little hurdles, don't quit at the first presentation of adversity. Rather, pause, recognize this as a checkpoint. All right, I'm gonna analyze this hurdle in front of me, recalibrate myself, figure out how I need to overcome this, and put myself in the best position to do so, right? As opposed to quitting at the adversity, or even trying to just like run through the wall when you could go around it, right? And it's the same principle with my recovery. Like I had little tightness in my quad, a little off feeling in my hamstring, and it's like I could keep trying to push through that wall, or I could go around it by getting a deep tissue massage, taking some active recovery days, and then keep going like I was before. The concept of recalibration has served me so well within my fitness and within my life in general, of not quitting and of not pushing through until you collapse, but rather knowing where your checkpoints are and strategically
reinforcing yourself, strategically rebuilding yourself at these checkpoints so that you may continue to go on. And guys, the reason this concept of recalibration is so like prevalent for me and so important for me, when I was going off to play football in college, like before my freshman season in the summertime, I strained my hamstring trying to be as prepared as possible because I'd worked so hard to even get a spot on the squad, and I wanted to show up not just ready, I wanted to show up and like absolutely just fucking kill it and kind of take my claim, you know? And so to do that, I did what I thought to be the best thing to do, is just train hard as fuck every day. Minimal rest. Rest is for the weak. I'm going to keep grinding because no one's going to outwork me. And that's what I did to a fault. I ended up running into a hamstring strain. And right when I strained my hamstring, in my head, I was worried, but I'd never had an injury before. And so all I could think about was like, okay, I have this right now, but I also have fall camp in 2 months. Like, I can't afford to be hurt right now. Like, I have to keep training. When in reality, I could have used a recalibration there if I would have just looked at the bigger picture. I have a strained hamstring. If I keep going, I'll run myself into the ground by making it worse. And I'm not gonna quit because I'm gonna still play. I'm just gonna take this moment to recalibrate. Instead of rushing back into training, I'm gonna make sure it gets rest. I'm gonna get massage work. I'm gonna work isometrics. I'm gonna make sure that my hamstring is good before even worrying about, you know, getting up to college football to play as soon as possible. Like, I have all 4 years. No need to rush back for freshman fall ball. But instead of choosing that recalibration, I chose to run myself into the ground. I didn't think I needed it. And it just resulted in me turning a strained hamstring into a full tear, and ultimately just led to the end of me playing football because there was some other shit with the tear. I like messed up my growth plate too, some other stuff. So, and that story is truly what taught me the importance of listening to your body, of giving your body what it needs with just like active recovery work, of taking these recalibration points, because I'm no longer attached, like my ego is no longer attached to like, how hard can I work every single day? Because it's just stupid. Instead, I'm gonna look at, all right, what's actually gonna serve me best for the long haul? Like, yeah, it might not be lifting every single day, but you don't need to. There's no need to. I don't get any extra cool guy points for being in the gym every day. You know, if anything, it's just gonna wear me down quicker. So, a little bit of a side tangent, but I want you guys to understand kind of like the thought process behind everything. And I'll see you guys over at the gym in just a little bit. All right, gang, so we made it to the gym. I already did the banded isos for my legs. I feel like that's implied. If you guys know me by now, you should know I'm already tapped into that. And I've showed you guys plenty, so I don't want to beat a dead horse with that, but start with the banded isos, get the legs warm. Now I'm gonna work more on the upper body and then finish off with some more legs, but I'm gonna do this pull-up iso here. Just focus on holding it at the very top, and I'll show you guys here. So, over here. Oh, yeah, so right here, I feel like all the muscles in my upper back, I feel my lats firing, my grips working, my biceps, my rear delts, even feel my core working right now. And so I'm gonna hold this for like a minute just to get some good work out of it, some good blood flow. This is also not only just a great active recovery, but if you're trying to build your pull-ups, if you get really efficient at this, gently kind of lean into that shake zone. We don't want to beat ourselves up too much, but want to get into that shake to where we know things are firing. My arms feel weird after holding on there. When I have these days, I think about kind of segmenting all of the isos for each like body part. So I've hit all my legs with the banded isos. This pull-up iso is great for the posterior chain. I want to do one more that's more focused on the upper back, like more of a horizontal row rather than a vertical row, but we'll do the same for the anterior chain, whether it be like a push-up iso, maybe working like a shoulder iso, like 90 degrees, again with the horizontal push, vertical push, horizontal row, vertical row, and then horizontal row, kind of hitting both for both sides. And then after that, really looking forward to the sauna because I'm still not feeling 100% with all this congestion. I feel like the sauna is gonna help a ton. So next one we're gonna do for the horizontal row, we're gonna do this inverted row here. And the reason I like this inverted row is because it feels like it gets all of the musculature all along this upper back within like the scapular region. And you're working, like your scapulars are engaged the whole time, which is what we demand from our scapulars during pressing movements, like on bench press where we go back and down. So it's like we can train that position to have a stronger foundation for our pressing movements while also using this to just reinforce those muscles as well, because sometimes they don't get a lot of love. So again, same deal here. Just one quality set for a minute or longer, just getting into that shake zone, getting a good pump and moving on. That's active recovery. You just wanna like touch each kind of thing. You don't wanna beat it up. You just wanna give it a little blood flow, a little love, and then keep it pushing because we'll be back tomorrow to get our real work in. All right, we're gonna try a new movement here for the chest. And you guys will notice that even though like I haven't necessarily done this movement before, it's less about what specifically I'm doing and more about the logic behind it. So I'm gonna leverage just a push-up iso with a slightly different position. Try to put my best to stack my shoulders over my wrists, or like here, boom. Now I'm hitting my chest, my front delts, my tris are working if I wanna hold myself up a bit higher. And this is gonna serve as a really nice push-up iso, or just the iso for this horizontal push motion. Now you could do the same thing on ground. I feel like this gives me a bit more positioning leverage, but you guys can make something else work for yourself. And boom, this is where we wanna be, right in this shake zone. I feel like everything firing too, like my core, my upper back. Really good work right there. Boom, that's all I need. It's important you guys know that for any of these isometrics, it's one thing to just hold the position and just get comfortable there. It's another thing to be as intentful as possible, not saying as hard as possible, but actively trying to connect your mind to which muscles you're working and try to just get that good mind-muscle connection while you're in that position and make sure you're getting the right activation. So do it with purpose, do it with intent, and that'll make all the difference. Two guys can do seemingly the same movement, like from just the eyes, they look the same, but if their intention is different, they're gonna get so much more out of it going through the motions versus actually trying to get something out of the movement. All right, so for the vertical press iso, just to get more of like a shoulder bias, we're gonna do an overcoming iso, which has different properties than the isometrics we've been doing. So I typically do like yielding isos, but this overcoming iso is basically just when you're pushing into an immovable object. What this is gonna do is like, you can leverage maximum intent to where you're getting great nervous system adaptations more so than a regular iso. But without getting too deep in the weeds, I'm not gonna be going all out to get that nervous system adaptation because today's an active recovery day. I'm gonna adjust the intention slightly to best fit what I need right now. So instead of full maximum intent, I'm gonna be pushing that line without actually redlining my engine so that I don't exhaust myself on a day where I'm supposed to be rejuvenating myself. So this is still great for blood flow, still great for activation, but you have to adjust your intent depending on whether it's active recovery or for your actual workout. For your actual workout, these serve great as like superset items. So overcoming iso, max effort, shoulder press into a heavy push press to prime your system. But without further ado, that feels good on my shoulders. All right, gang, we just wrapped up sauna, cold plunge, just to put a bow on things. A little hot and cold therapy is just good for this exact purpose of active recovery. Yeah, just kept it super simple today. Banded isos, upper body isos, sauna, cold plunge. You guys know the drill. But you know it's a good session when halfway through the isos that I was doing, you know, for the lower body and upper body, I had temptations to be like, oh, I feel like jumping around right now. I feel like moving some weight. You know it's good when you're at that point because your body is telling you that it's like low key ready to go. You're just giving it that initial rest to prevent you from like jumping the gun, right? So you're like, my body's telling me I'm ready to go. This is perfect. I'll be ready to go tomorrow. I'm gonna finish out the isos today. And so compared to how I felt going into the gym today, I feel brand new. You know, I think I was still stiff from the massage. I was still a little beat up, but now that I got everything kind of firing, got some blood flow, flushed everything out with the sauna as well as the cold plunge, I feel ready to attack my session tomorrow. And it's super important you guys remember to incorporate these types of things, whether it be like I did, a deep tissue massage, 2 days off, or just on your rest days, on the weekends, in between sessions, taking care of your body properly to prepare yourself that you may keep going for the long haul. Taking these periods of recalibration in the gym, in life, in your relationships, you can break everything down, identify where you're weak at, give yourself an opportunity to reset, and then keep attacking. You know, this is a lifelong marathon. It's not a sprint, as with everything else. Like, comment, subscribe, leave any questions. Be sure to check out my Instagram. I'll put it in the description. I basically document all of this stuff every day, daily basis, so you guys can get plenty of value and information there. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Peace, love, prosperity. I'll see you on the next one.